everybody, this is Cyril des Remaux, and this, my friend, is Happy Time. Well, today I'm still in the car. It's a rainy day, so just about a little thought about that. It's I used to say, sunny days were beautiful days, and then rainy day was just rainy days. Well, I've decided to say that when it was sunny, it's a beautiful sunny day, and when it's rainy, I would say now it's a beautiful rainy day. Just because you have to be positive all the time. So this is not the main idea of today. Today is just about giving you a little trick that I've developed over the years, and it's been working for me pretty well. Maybe it's not for everyone, but might be interesting for you. Excuse me. Okay, so just very fast. I've told you that I've been living in many countries. I'm going to do a list right now because this is important to the story. Okay, first I lived when I was 18, 1 year in the United States, and then I went back in France, 2 years in Lille, then a year in England, and then a year in Spain, in Madrid. And then in the meantime, I went 3 months in Argentina, and then I came back to Paris for a year. And then I went to Italy, in Milan, for 1 year and a half. And then I went on a trip around the world for 1 year. And then I went to Brazil for 6 months. Came back to France for 1 year, and went to Argentina for a year and a half. Came back to France for 2 years, and now I'm here in the United States. I've been here for almost a year and a half. So there's a trick that I've been developing, okay? Whenever I arrive in I'm sorry. Whenever I arrive in one country, I do what I call self-propaganda. Okay, you see in those countries, for example, old USSR, you had those leaders that are, all over the place. You have pictures of them, and people, that speakers that speak about them, how wonderful they are. Well, that's all about lies, But it's propaganda, and in the end, people really believe him. They believe he's a great guy. They believe, just whatever. They're being told so many things about him that basically they just believe him. So my idea was to say, okay, whenever I arrive in a country, I will inflict to myself a self-propaganda, meaning, okay, when I arrived in Italy, for example, I put the Italian flag on the wall. I put the map of Italy. I would listening to Italian music, buy the Italian comics. If you're in Italy, I was reading Tex, Cowboys. But anyway, it was Italian. It was pretty Italian to me. So at least that's how I learned Italian mostly. And then I would, of course, speak Italian to the people. Eat Italian, so that means eating pasta almost every day, and just question everything that they were doing culturally and why they were doing it. Not really looking at, of course, what I liked, but I was trying to put my preferences on the side, so I would be more open. For example, grappa is an alcohol beverage that they drink, at the end of a meal. I'm not particularly fond of grappa, but I tried it, and they say, okay, what is the origin of grappa? Why do you do that in Italy, etc. So basically, it's really like the saying, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. Well, that's this, but taking maybe to a higher extreme. So I think it's been working for me, and sometimes the result is pretty strange, because you really like something that is really local that you might not have liked in your own country. When I was in Argentina, I was drinking mate every day, and mate, I don't know if you ever tried it, it's kind of bitter, but in the end, I couldn't do without my mate every day. And same for Fernet Branca, they take Fernet with Coke, and kind of medicinal, and I don't think I would have drank it in France, but since I was there, I was just doing it local. And there are so many examples that you can take. Eating at 10, 11 at night in Argentina, well, that's the way they do it, so you have to do it the way they do it, right? So Anyway, that also can, some people might think about it in the wrong way, because my way is only to learn and to be immersed. So that's really self-immersion. But some people might think, I remember a friend of mine saying in Spain, saying, well, you put the Spanish flag on your wall, but it doesn't mean anything to you. You're singing the Spanish national anthem when the Spanish team plays, but it's not your national anthem, so why are you singing it? It doesn't mean anything to you. So I guess, you can't really please everyone. I remember someone else telling me, every time you go to a country, you change. You're a different person. You're not really true to yourself. So I don't think that's true. I think I'm true to myself. I just want to be self-immersed. Okay, another idea, last idea is, okay, you can be immersed. If you go to the country, you're going to be immersed by, you have to read the Italian newspaper, you have to speak Italian. But this is self-inflicted. That means you're really active in the way you want to be immersed in the country. That's what makes the difference to me. So anyway, if you go to a foreign country, you have to try that. It worked for me, and it's great. Aloha!